GameRanks presents the top 10 new PlayStation 4 games of 2016. These are our most anticipated, so let's get right into it, starting off with number 10. Tom Clancy's The Division is on our list, and we really hope it's finally coming out this year. This game has been pushed and pushed long enough, because frankly, it looks really cool. It's also incredibly ambitious. Is it really going to live up to the hype? Also, are the graphics really that good? We don't really know for sure, but early responses from betas seemed okay. But ultimately, the game out in the wild to the public will really have a lot to prove. But we're looking forward to seeing if it lives up to all that hype, ambition, and just general awesomeness. I really hope it does, because the idea of running around as a cool soldier man in an MMORPG New York City that looks incredibly like real New York City, I'm pretty on board for that. I just really hope it's good. And at number 9, we have Street Fighter V. This time around, this Street Fighter game is being released exclusively for PlayStation 4 and PC. The coolest thing here is that not only is this Street Fighter bringing new characters, even better graphics and costumes and stuff like that, this time around online is going to be fleshed out even more, and there's going to be cross-platform play. This is a really good idea because the Street Fighter community is just so immense, with a lot of really hardcore players, which I admit I am not one of them, but we're really hoping Street Fighter V lives up to the expectations of fans. And at number 8, we have Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Once again, we get to play as the so awesome, super cool Adam Jensen, this time around in a new situation, new environment, and he's got a different job. You're thrust into the middle of what seems to be a brewing civil war between regular humans and people who use robotic augments. It seems like really cool and has a really great idea behind it. And Square Enix this time around is expanding the gameplay to really reward players who play differently this time around. This time around, they promise that you won't be shoehorned into a boss battle where you have to use brute force, even though maybe you're a stealth character. This time around, the game is completely tailored to how you play. I'm really excited because I got to see this game at E3, and the amount of new augments and different gameplay possibilities are almost dizzying. There's a ton of options, and it looks like it's so much fun to play because Human Revolution was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if Mankind Divided tops. And at number 7, we have Final Fantasy 15, also known as Holy Shit, this game is coming out, also known as Final Fantasy Versus 13. You probably know the history by now. This game was announced in 2007, and it's finally coming out, rebranded as Final Fantasy 15, with a cool open world adventure with a bunch of bros going on a road trip fighting monsters. I don't even know. The game looks gorgeous. It looks like a ton of fun. It's a bit different for Final Fantasy to really stray away from traditional JRPG combat style and go for a more action-oriented approach, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they pull it off. And at number 6, we have Dishonored 2. Dishonored was a really big surprise, so we're hoping Dishonored 2 can really capitalize on what made the first game so unique. I was already talking about it with Deus Ex, but just that whole open world player design where you can do any approach and different playstyle you want. This time around, we get a new female character, a ton of weird, crazy new abilities that we can't really even explain, a pretty frankly gorgeous looking new environment judging from the screenshots and concept arts, but we don't really have a lot of information from the time of this video. We're really hoping this one doesn't slip into 2017. We don't think it will, but you never know. And speaking of slipping away, at number 5, we have Mass Effect Andromeda. It seems like 2016 is the year where we're finally going to get some real information and hopefully a 2016 release date from this follow-up to Mass Effect 3. That being said, the developers aren't considering this an actual Mass Effect 4 because it's a completely new story in a different timeline many years after the original trilogy with all new characters. That being said, myself and many other fans are super pumped just because the Mass Effect universe is just a great sci-fi universe. I'm really excited to see where things go this time around because we're getting a completely new and fresh player character. Shepard was awesome and totally legendary, but I think sometimes it's time to move on. At the time of making this video, we still don't have a lot to go on with Mass Effect Andromeda, but that's kind of really exciting. There's a big mystery behind it, and we can't wait to see it be revealed. And at number 4, we have Doom. Finally, Doom makes a return, and I am so goddamn excited. We haven't seen Doom for a long time since Doom 3, and this new Doom game is coming back being rebranded simply as Doom. It's really embracing the fast-paced, ridiculous, no cover system, no regenerating health, basic golden age of PC first-person shooters, the ones that started it all. This game looks absolutely insane. If you guys have seen any gameplay of this, you've seen the finishers, you've seen the enemy designs, you've seen the player go into hell. It looks so awesome and so crazy, and I'm really excited. Of course, this new Doom is a multi-platform game, but, we're just really excited about it in general. And at number 3, we have No Man's Sky. 2016 is finally going to be the year that we see this game that I'm going to admit I feel like they showed off way too early. And honestly, I think they were still figuring out what it really is. But hopefully once it releases, it's awesome. For those of you that don't know, this is that open world, open-ended procedurally generated game where you hop in a spaceship and fly around and explore procedurally generated galaxies and worlds. Myself personally, since this seems like more of an exploration game than a actual quest or action game, I'm really hoping to step it up they add this to the PlayStation VR roster, because jumping in a spaceship and flying around in VR could be really cool, and I think that could be their ace up their sleeve, but time will tell. And at number 2 we have Horizon Zero Dawn. This game being developed by Guerrilla Games, the makers of Killzone, it seems like it's going to be a big PlayStation 4 exclusive. It's an action RPG set in a world where the main character is a primitive native person fighting against animals that are actually robots. So it's kind of almost like a reverse type of thing, with robotics taking over the natural wildlife, which is just such a cool concept, and the gameplay of this game so far looks pretty bananas. There's a lot of planning, strategy, using your bow and arrow thing, and setting traps, and it all seems like it works very well, especially when you're fighting the bigger monsters. It reminds me of a lot of other games where you fight bigger monsters, like, honestly, Monster Hunter, or even a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus. Judging from the debut and the treatment of this game, it seems like Sony is really excited for this game, and honestly, it's kind of rubbing off on me too. Horizon Zero Dawn looks great. And at number 1, speaking of things that Sony is really excited about, and I know I am too, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. We've been getting snippets of this game for a while, and in 2016 we finally get to play it. This apparently seemingly end to the Uncharted series looks insane. By looking insane, I'm talking, of course, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous and incredible, and there's just so much going on and so much detail, but I'm talking about insane the situation. Things this time around seem really dire for our hero Nathan Drake, and I can't wait to see if he gets out of it. Not to mention he's also got his brother this time around being voiced by the wonderful Troy Baker. It's kind of just like a big marriage of awesome things. Great voice actors in video games, one of the best PlayStation franchises ever, and one of the best studios behind it. Uncharted 4 is shaping up and seems like it has the potential to be one of the best action shooter platformer third-person-y type games. And I'm really hoping it lives up to it, because for me, nothing was better than Uncharted 2. But I'm willing to have my mind changed with that, so Uncharted 4, I really hope you do it. So guys, those were our 10 most anticipated PlayStation 4 games of 2016, but we got a couple more that we couldn't exactly squeeze into our top 10. First, we have Ratchet & Clank, the remake of the original game, which is, I think, arguably the best game, so I can't wait to play it. We also have The Witness from Jonathan Blow, the creator of Braid, this huge puzzle game that's coming out soon. We also have Yakuza 6, the beloved Japanese franchise, finally making its big AAA debut stateside. We also finally have the new Hitman releasing, which looks like a return to form for the series. And The Last Guardian is hopefully releasing this year. Finally, after everything, we're finally getting this game. But like I said, guys, those are our top 10 most anticipated PS4 games, the new games coming in 2016. But we want to know, what games are you most pumped about playing on your PS4? Let us know in the comments below. We're always down to talk about games. List off your personal favorites. But as always, guys, you know the deal. It really helps us out if you like this video. We appreciate it so much. And subscribing if you're new is a good idea, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.